Hey guys, welcome back to the daily crypto market update. BTC closed red as predicted yesterday. It had a little bit of a pullback down here to $109,000. I was actually expecting this mainly because on the 4-hour time frame, if you guys remember from yesterday's video, I've been watching these two TBO close shorts. These two orange diamonds right here. These are part of the trending breakout indicator, this big mass right here, and these are my favorite bullish reversal signals. Now, when these print, what I expect is to see the price make a return back to this thick pink line right here. This is the TBO Fast line. We saw this happen back on Tuesday. TBO close short, price wicks into it. Cool. We get another one, and we didn't see it pull back until yesterday afternoon, which is great. Now, we actually saw BTC fall down a little bit further than I was expecting, but I'm not really that worried. One thing that is or was possible yesterday that I made mention of in the Better Traders Club Discord server is a bump and run, which I don't want to see. Trust me, you don't want to see this either, where the price goes above overhead resistance and it retraces back down to previously broken resistance, bouncing off of it, which basically turns this level of resistance into support. So it's a bump and a run. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Bitcoin go any lower. And actually, yesterday's, or rather this early morning for me, price action was really good for BTC. Seeing it move up 1.85% is an amazing move here. Now, volume on the daily time frame, kind of sort of okay. Actually, no, it's not at all. We really want to see daily volume here exceed or at least reach or touch this yellow moving average. And one thing that's very clear for BTC is that volume has been falling down a lot. When I zoom out, you can see it even more clearly. Ever since November 2024, daily volume has just been going lower and lower and lower and lower. Volume always represents interest. Now, I know that since November 2024 in December, all the way up to now, Bitcoin has not just gone up and to the right. You know, everyone thought, oh yeah, we're on easy mode now. The easy road is from 100K on. No, it's never going to be easy. But what's more disconcerting, I guess you could say, is that seeing volume fall down, yet Bitcoin made a new all-time high just a couple of weeks ago at $124,000. Yes, we've seen spurts and bursts of volume here, but I was hoping to see a lot more. Now, okay, maybe you're like, Aaron, that's not fair. This is the Binance chart. Why don't you choose something else? Okay, let's look at Coinbase. Let's compare and see if things are really that much different. No, they're really not that much different. We've seen bigger spikes over here, which is great. July, and over here in July as well. But again, what's the general trend here? We have a couple of outliers, but what's the general trend? I mean, you can see it. There's a clear downtrend in volume. Okay, that's not fair, Aaron. Why don't you go to something else? Okay, let's just go to the all-time history index. Similar story to Coinbase, but look, volume's also been falling down. I'm not trying to be bearish. Trust me, I don't want to be. I don't like being bearish at all. I mean, my name is Moon and Papa after all. So the main thing though is like, I also just can't look at charts with a bullish bias all the time. I want to, but that would also be a disservice to myself, to my portfolio, to my plans for my portfolio, and also to all of you. So I'm not saying that Bitcoin is bearish. I'm just saying that volume, which represents demand, which represents interest, has been on a steady decline ever since November. Now, is the top in? No, I don't necessarily think so. I do believe that Bitcoin will rally. And I shared this concept of what basically like a roadmap, and I really can't share all of it with you right now because that's super not fair. I literally just shared this insane 15-month prediction. I'll make a video about it soon, but that's more for people that are in the Better Traders Club, and I'll talk about that in a minute. In the short term, the good things that have happened, for one, on balance volume, this blue jagged line right here has crossed above its moving average. On balance volume shows us cumulative volume, day over day volume. So each green day shows an increase in on balance volume, this blue line. So a lot of volume with a green day means a big increase. Vice versa, a lot of selling on a red day shows a decrease in on balance volume. And we have a smooth moving average here, or I think it might be a simple moving average. I can't remember which one. But it's an SMA with a length of 21. Why 21? Why not? Blackjack, winner, winner, chicken dinner. But the moving average here has been going down ever since late July. Now, what's really important, what's really good, is that on balance volume moved above its moving average. And yesterday, it's still holding above, just slightly so. I would love to see this moving average start to flatten out and curl upward, just like what we saw back over here. This is a really good sign. If you remember back in April, I was super excited to see on-balance volume curling up. Why? Because on-balance volume represents cumulative volume. Another way to interpret this is the bullishness or the bearishness, or rather the strength thereof, represented in volume. So if we see this blue jagged line making higher highs, it will force the moving average to curl up. And this moving average moving up higher and higher and higher tells us that there is a strong bullish uptrend, or rather a strong trend in volume. Usually when it's moving up, it's a bullish uptrend. And vice versa, when it's moving down, like it was back over here in February, and also back over here in December, moving down is bearish. Moving down a lot is really bearish. So we're seeing a lot of selling. We're seeing this fall down a lot, okay? So going back to where we are right now, what I would love to see is this. This isn't happening yet. But if we continue to see good growth for Bitcoin, we will see on-balance volume curl up. Why am I sharing this? Well, not all of you have access to the TBO indicator. And to be honest, the TBO indicator has stayed strong bullish basically this entire time, really since here about July. Even though we've had some drawdown, even though this has been a rough pullback from 124K down here to 107K, down 13%, rough pullback. Gosh, we're so spoiled. Long gone are the days where Bitcoin drops 30% in a day. Some of you that have joined late, you have no idea how lucky you are. Yes, Bitcoin isn't as volatile anymore. You might think that that's great. I mean, yeah, but I mean, buying on a real quick 30% dip and then selling on that bounce, wow, Bitcoin used to be amazing for trading. Now it's pretty boring, which is good. Boring is good. Another good thing to point out in regards to this indicator here, again, the trending breakout indicator, or TBO for short, is that we saw on Wednesday the price of BTC tag this thick green line. This is the TBO Fast line. It also turns green when we have a confirmed TBO open long, like we did way back over here. Where is it? Yep, over here in April. So this green triangle turns the color from pink to green. So yeah, it's a watermelon. Any of you Herbie Hancock fans out there? Watermelon man? Nah, now it's stuck in your head. So a good thing, I want to talk about good things. Tagging the fast line is great. Staying below it, not so much. Seeing a higher low yesterday, really good thing. Now, this is super premature, but we want to see Bitcoin hold above this low. If we do, this is basically going to be right here. This is what we call a pivot point. I wasn't planning to go this in depth with charting and stuff, and we're just going to use price action. This is a great start of an uptrend. So a pivot point, and I don't really like pivot points too much because sometimes it's difficult to call it when it's happening, and usually you're only going to be able to identify it later. But like right here is a pivot point. Right here is a pivot point. Again, it's super duper easy to call these after the fact. It's really hard to call it when you're in the moment. Trust me, it's extremely difficult. But one thing that's exciting that's happening is that BTC putting in a higher low on yesterday's candle is a positive sign of growth. So we should be expecting now a higher local high. So seeing Bitcoin move up here to about $114,000 would be a really great show today. More importantly, seeing Bitcoin tag the fast line, which is currently at 112K, and closing above it will be a great sign of strength that we should see BTC slowly make its way back to the top of the cloud by probably Tuesday next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Usually the weekend, we're going to see drawdown. I would love to see a nice push up today and then tomorrow. Sunday, we might get a pullback. We'll see. But hopefully we see BTC just start to make a higher high, or a higher local high here, which would be awesome. Again, it's really risky to call it like, okay, yeah, this is definitely going to happen right now. But one thing that we can say for sure is that resistance has been confirmed, broken. Yes. Now, let's move on to Ethereum. Interestingly enough, Ethereum dropped 3.44% yesterday. I was not expecting it to drop this hard. So what's actually happening right now is really weird. I want to give you a little bit of a hint. The dominance charts are great, but if you keep track and you watch these charts every single day, like I do, probably some of you do as well, when you start to notice Bitcoin moving up 1.8% and Ethereum doing nothing, or Bitcoin falling 0.87% and Ethereum overreacting, dominance is shifting. And it should be really clear that dominance is shifting in favor of Bitcoin. And unfortunately, we have a TBT Bullish Divergence signal. This is a pro tier indicator that's available through the Better Traders Club. And all it does is it tells us when we might have these pivot moves. Sometimes it's going to be spot on. Sometimes it's going to be really late. Sometimes it's going to be really early. But when we get lots of these printing, like back over here, I pay attention. Even though Bitcoin dominance moved up 5%, eventually it's right. So it's letting us know, be careful. There's a very strong bearish divergence or there's a very strong bullish divergence happening. Now, please hear me. I am not expecting Bitcoin dominance to just pump immediately. But one thing that I keep thinking of in the back of my mind is that on the weekly time frame, there's a couple of things. For one, if you guys have been watching these videos a lot and you're starting to understand and learn how to interpret these symbols from the TBO indicator, these blue diamonds, these are the bearish inverse of the TBO close shorts. So these are TBO close longs. On the weekly time frame, these are massive signals. When we first saw our TBO close long here on the week close of the 14th of July, we have not seen the price or the percentage of Bitcoin dominance tag the fast line because that is the expected behavior. A quick tag and then it goes lower. We have two of these. The week of the 14th of July, the week of the 4th of August. We have not seen Bitcoin dominance tag this line. If we see Bitcoin dominance pump another 4.5%, you should expect alts to get pummeled. I don't want to see that happen just as much as you don't want to see that happen either. Now, something else that's really interesting as well is RSI. Weekly RSI put in a really massive low at 20.71 on the weekly. That's huge. But right now, because Bitcoin dominance is moving up, especially on the weekly, again, right now on the week, it's up 1.07%. It's starting to do an RSI reset, which is a bullish reversal signal. Now, the reality is that the trend is looking very bearish, which is good. I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin dominance eventually float up here to tag the fast line, but the ultimate direction for this is down. Now, that will cause a lot of short-term pain, especially seeing Bitcoin dominance on the daily going inside of the cloud, but you guys have to hear me. The macro trend on the daily is down. On the weekly, it's in bearish consolidation. I expect Bitcoin dominance to end up down anyway. If we see a larger pullback, we will see an increase in stablecoin dominance. We're not really seeing that right now. On the 4-hour time frame, you can actually see that same TBO Close Long right here. It took a little bit of time, but eventually the percentage or the price tagged this thick green line. That's the expected outcome. Now, Ethereum dominance is one that I've been watching a lot lately. And you guys know that I've been expecting a bounce from here. Well, we didn't see a bounce the day after seeing one of these TBT bearish divergences. It waited a little bit, saw a kind of bounce, 2%, and then it gave it all back again, or gave it all back, whatever. It didn't make the move. I want to say this with cautious tone. I'm not bearish on Ethereum, but I will tell you this. Anytime a price, or in this case, a percentage, or sometimes it's a market cap, anytime you see the chart close inside of this green mass right here, the TBO Cloud, it's a sign of bearish consolidation. And bearish consolidation is a fancy schmancy word for price go down, down, down. Now, I'm not saying that it has to go down to the very bottom, but what it tells me is that I should expect Ethereum dominance to kind of chug down a little bit lower. How low? I really don't know. But if we're seeing a reversal for Bitcoin dominance, an increase or a signal that we could see a bullish increase, we will most likely see a decrease in Ethereum dominance, which also means that Solana dominance might fall as well. So this isn't necessarily bad news. It's just the market ebbing and flowing, but we need to be aware of this. Now, the reality is that the total ES.D chart, I'm not saying it again, on the 4-hour time frame remains bullish. Again, we have a higher low here. We're actually seeing alts do reasonably well. I expect total ES.D to actually tag resistance today and close above it. Hopefully, we'll see a recovery for alts. Again, we can kind of see this chart starting to slowly recover, and this is a good sign. We can also see this reflected here on the total ES daily chart, as well as the 4-hour chart. I mean, look, yesterday, on Wednesday, we saw the market cap go above resistance. That's a great sign. We're probably going to see it pierce and go higher over the weekend. That's a really good sign. Please hear me. I am not trying to say that everything is bearish. We're all going to go to zero. No. But what I'm saying is that there is a shift happening in dominance right now, and we need to watch those because that's really going to change the direction of the current for cryptocurrency. Hopefully that makes sense. Total E50.D. Again, this is also telling me that a lot of low caps are getting ready to pop. And I'm already seeing a lot of these. I'm going to be sharing a lot of these charts in today's video in a minute. Now, the one thing to be aware of, and this is something that I actually did something that I wasn't expecting to do. You guys remember that position that I had for Solana? Let me go ahead and just bring it up over here on AllTrading so I can share. I shared yesterday, and I've been giving you guys an update on this. I had a position open for Solana that I was happy with. Things were going well. And it's a position that's been open for 213 days, way too long. I actually closed the position because of the symbol that I saw. Now, this is probably premature, but if I see a bullish reversal signal on Bitcoin dominance, I'm looking at that as, okay, Bitcoin will probably do well, better than everything else for the short term, which means that Sol BTC might have a deeper pullback. Even though I was in profit, I've just been burned too many times. So I want to make sure that I am preserving my portfolio, that I'm taking profit and making all these good decisions. So I walk away with a little trade, 4%, a little under 5%. It's not as much as I was hoping for. But the main thing is that when I see stuff like this, I'm starting to go, I don't like seeing those bearish vibes for total 3 ES BTC, letting me know that Bitcoin, the total 3 market cap, excluding stablecoins, might not be doing so well against Bitcoin, meaning that Bitcoin might overcompensate for a lot of those alts. Others, BTC, showing the same thing. Not saying that others are going to dump, but I'm seeing that right now it looks like Bitcoin might be making a new impulse and it might be leaving smaller caps behind. Total E50 against Ethereum is also looking good, but this is showing me that there's strength building for the total, or rather coins below the total 50 market cap, which is a positive sign. We want to see alts grow. We want to see them go higher. But the reality is that we need to be careful. And this is the kind of stuff that I talk about in our courses, thebettertraders.com. Go to there. This is literally the last day that you can get 30% off of all of our courses, whether it's 15 minutes to financial freedom, Mastering Passive Income, our advanced bot trading course, the Smarter Trader, our advanced active trading course, or Mastering Assets has the complete cryptocurrency investor. This is more of a long-term investor-based approach to cryptocurrency, not going into like automated trading tools and stuff like that. So the 50 minutes course is the best place to go to. Comes with one-on-one coaching. You never lose access to any of the courses that we have. And whenever you sign up to a course, you automatically get a free trial to the Better Traders Club, which includes the TBO and the Pro tier. The Pro courses also give you access to the TBT Divergence indicator that I was showing before, those triangles. And speaking of, I've actually started forwarding all of these alerts. So whenever we get an alert for anything, whether it's bullish or bearish, there's a lot of bullish ones. We're expecting a lot of bullish reversals across the board. We're going to be notified over here on Discord, which is great. So if this happens and you can click one of these, it's going to open up a trading view window. And then boom, you can see, do I really want to enter a position here? So it's something that's just new and interesting that I've added. If you guys are following me, I want to encourage you down below in the link, there should be a pinned comment to copy trade me on Femex. I'm opening more positions today because I'm expecting a small bounce, treating it more as like a scalping opportunity for what I'm seeing. But I just want to show you guys, like, I actually shared Morpho as a trade setup in the Better Traders Club. I don't want to give away all the details of it, but this has just been a crazy chart. I really want this thing to go away. I don't want to move my take profit target. There we go. So you can see where I entered. Oh, it doesn't even have the thing. It's so weird when it takes profit, it hides it. But I took profit like over here somewhere. And there was just a crazy pump literally out of nowhere. I was not expecting the price to pump up 14%. But you know what happens when these charts pump like this? I take profit. I am not going to go, oh yeah, it's going to go up to $1 million from here. No way. Are you kidding? When you see charts pumping up in an hour, what is this? 7%? No, I'm taking profit. And I actually showed and I shared in the Better Traders Club. I want to show you the post because I gave you guys, especially if you are, perfect. Okay. I want to share this with you because this is really helpful. It gives you an idea of why I talk about this stuff. Talking about Morpho, and people are talking about, yeah, what do they want to do? So this is where things were starting to go crazy when it was at like 213. So I said right here, I took out 1/3 on this pump. I'm not sure why it's pumping, but I have itchy fingers and I've grown accustomed to taking profits like this. It's short-term, exhausted on the 5-minute. FYI. This right here, this is enough. This is like, I should get 1 million likes for this. When you see charts pump on the 5-minute time frame, watch RSI. RSI maxed out at like 96 or something. The moment RSI starts to drop the slightest bit, that's where I take out like 1/3 of the position, which is exactly what I did. So notice the price at 213. If we go back over here to trading or the browser to Femex, this is basically where I took out a lot of the position, and then it lost 7%, basically gave it all away. So understanding how to trade stuff like this, I mean, it comes with practice. You can do it. But again, I teach a lot of this stuff already in our courses. So that's just a practical plug. I also want to be transparent with you guys too, and understand that as much as you guys may think I'm an incredible trader, I do try my best. I will also have positions that close in the red. Unfortunately, this chart, XAR, that I've been waiting and holding and trading back and forth, AB trading style, unfortunately, it's being delisted from Bybit. So what did I do? Whenever I get those, I go, nope, cut the thread, cut the rope, done. Unfortunately, I so close. Like I really wanted to take all my profits there, but I didn't. So unfortunately, I'm walking away with a loss, with an L. So I want to be transparent with you guys to let you know, no, not every trade I close is in the green. I love to stay in the green, but the reality is that I'm also making decisions that a lot of this stuff has just been ingrained and burned in my memory from years and years of trading crypto. So would I have done things differently? And are you kidding? Yeah, I never would have touched this if I'd known, but I don't know. So I make decisions based off of what I've learned throughout the years. And again, this is stuff I teach, not necessarily how to lose money like this, but how do you react in a situation like that? Again, this is why having some education is so important, because when a chart gets delisted, you're done, you're cooked. That's it, game over. It's not a fun place to be. Trust me. Now, we need to go back over here to TradingView to talk about today's picks. But before I do, I have a feeling that you haven't liked the video yet. And if you have, you're amazing. You're awesome. Now, the next thing to do is to subscribe to the channel, share this video with friends and family that might be interested in trading crypto. And if you have a chart, a coin, ticker that you're really interested in, go ahead and leave a comment down below. We're going to get into today's picks. Now, a couple of updates on some charts. Lido Finance, unfortunately, printed a second TBO Close Long. This is not a good sign. This is a bearish sign. But I do think that Lido will be making a pop up here. Why? Well, if we go to the 4-hour time frame, we have a TBO close short, which is a good sign. And on the hourly, we have another one of these TBT Bullish Divergence signals. I'm expecting just a quick little pop for Lido, but nothing massive. If anything, we should be seeing a return back to the TBO Fast line, which is at about $1.24. That's why this one is tagged blue, by the way, because this is a TBO Close Long. Now, these three ones that are pink are telling us bearish things in regards to the TBT divergence. These are all TBT bearish divergence signals. Now, Solana has been great for trading. Unfortunately, it gave away a lot of its move yesterday at 4%. I do think it will bounce back up, but it printed a TBT bearish divergence. Now, I want to help you with this. Just because we get one of these does not mean game over. You can see back over here in May, we saw the price of Solana fall down after it printed about 4%, but then it shot right back up 11%. But the moment it starts to print these guys, the TBT bearish divergence clusters, these yellow tags, that's a really bad signal. And you can see what happened to the price after that. It fell, 28%. So just because we're getting our first one does not mean, oh no, sell everything, because we want to pay attention to the macro trend, which is bullish. The slow line is moving up. That's a really good sign. We will continue to see a lot of these on a bullish uptrend, but this is just something to keep in the back of your mind that we're seeing a bearish divergence. Pole on the 4-hour time frame printed one of these as well. Again, it's not a terrible sign, but it's something to be mindful of that we could see a pullback on this. Pullback on Pole. KuCoin shares, or KCS, the KuCoin token. This one has a TBT bearish divergence after the pullback, even though it has a TBO breakout on the 4-hour and the daily. Not surprising there. But we have a lot of charts that are still printing bullish reversal signals. On the 4-hour time frame, I'm still expecting XRP to move we had 2 TBO close shorts. The price retraced back to the TBO Fast line. I'm expecting this one to move up. Cardano, ADA, same thing. Say, same thing. This one actually is, should I give it away? Let me at least go over here. I have a position open on Femex that I did for Say just now because, there we go. Perfect. There we go. Because it actually hit my entry target. So this one is a little bit of a risky trade, but this is one I'm also expecting like a nice little bounce from. So hopefully we'll get that nice little bounce, make a little bit of profit, and also have a trade set up on Say as well. I'm giving away too much, But the one thing to watch for this chart is how will it react once it hits resistance, especially this one and this one and this one. But we are seeing very similar bullish reversal signals, again, deja vu rally. That's what I'm expecting. Just like we saw back here in early August, I'm expecting the same thing to happen again. TIA, Celestia, same thing. Deja vu rally. That's what I'm expecting. Now, Fartcoin, this one's going to take a little bit more time. It does have a TBO close short. On the daily time frame, no TBO close short yet. It does have 3 TBO breakdowns. But I am actually getting the vibe that this one's going to start to rally. Volume is awful. On-balance volume is dead. RSI is ugh. The TBO on the daily is ugh. But I just get a weird feeling. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know. You get these feelings sometimes, right? Aerodrome, this one I'm also expecting a bounce from as well. TBO close short there yesterday. Beam, this one is having some really crazy price action right now. Just love all this whippiness. Really good for trading, to be honest. Morpho, just talked about this one. You can see it shooting up all the way here to what? 215, which is crazy, especially on like 4-hour time frame. I am expecting this one to continue moving up higher. Probably going to head up here to 259, but it'll take a little bit of time for that to happen. But I love the volume. I love the bullish reversal that's happening. Now, some things to watch. ENA, Athena, this one had a really nice push above resistance on Wednesday. Thursday, it lost it. But look, we have a higher low. It's actually a really good sign if you go to the daily time frame. Hopefully, I'm not driving too fast and clicking around. But you can see here we have a low. We have a little bit of a higher low, a little bit of a higher low here. Now, that's a really nasty pullback at resistance. So that tells me that's going to take a little bit more time to break above. But eventually, we will see this one recover. There's a lot of bearish vibes, just so you know. So understand it's not going to necessarily pump right away, but just watch it. Hex, this one is at an optimal place to consider an entry. I'm not saying to long Hex at all. I'm so tired of trading Hex. But it is at TBO daily support. So it could provide a really good entry if you're looking to make a nice swing trade on that. And of course, World Liberty Financial continues to tank and to plummet. There is some drama around Justin Sun. I'm not caught up to date. But the main thing to watch on the 4-hour is actually a positive thing. Even though the price absolutely just puked, we do have an RSI reset, a pretty nasty one too. 4-hour RSI got down to 18.43. And whenever it crosses above 25, that's actually a bullish reversal signal. So I'm not saying that's the bottom for this chart, but it is a good sign that the bottom is most likely near. So again, guys, there's a whole lot of stuff going on in this market. This is the time to give yourself the education that you need to become a better trader, to prepare yourself for the explosive end of this bull market, which is quickly approaching faster than you think. And before you go, I want you to watch this video that I shared on the week on how to get out of crazy trades that go against you, even if you have to sell at a loss sometimes. But more often than not, I will close on a profit. So I want you to watch this video. Until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.